May God bless you throughout the Sabbath, and may God bless you throughout the new 2016. May He will give you peace and comfort, and may He will give you inspiration and power. And all respect, in respect, when it's needed, may He will give it to you. I've got pictures for you from the previous trip that I went to India. By the way, I'll bring you some stories because I'm going without my wife, so it'll be interesting. Just tempting. Anyway, this is a street in Piridi village. Piridi. And in the middle of the street with a piece of paper is a pastor Vijay, and then church members. Let's go to the next, and the same street, different view. And behind the carriage there is a church property between the buildings. We'll get there. Next. And here we are, turning into the street, going towards the church property, with the church membership in front of the property, like now, right on the corner. And the next, and here it is, the church property. The job for this church was, on this project, was to build a fence around this church, because the next slide probably will show you what's going on. It's a bit messy, isn't it? And next one, you see the problem? When you go to church on Sabbath, you have to be really, because mines are there, living mines that the bullocks have left. So here you have, they are measuring, you will see the tiny type going from one corner of the fence to the other fence. The footings of the fence. That's how they were building. Jerfen and Josephine will tell you a little bit more about it. So we wanted to have these pictures because we wanted to know what's to be done. And let's go. And here they are asking us and waiting for us. Anyway, let's go on. That's the back of the same church. You see, no matter which way you look at it, it's about the same. You see anyway, that's inside the church. And then again, and the change took place because there was a team of people joined between Australia and Europe. And we can see the pastor on the left. Then you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 members from Europe. That's Sweden, Germany, Poland. And then you see Daniel, my son. Then you see Stefan, Tess, and Jared. Tess and Jared are from Blue Mountains. Stefan is from St. Mary's. Daniel is from my home. Okay, and we staying there in front of the building of the Bobley School. That is the blind school in Bobley. And then we went to work. That's the second day when we have already some bricks on. And looks good, doesn't it? Man, and on, and on. And they carrying these bricks on the head. Man, amazing. You wouldn't be able to do it. We tried. And here is money talk. And let's go on, and money talk. And we're doing some more, and we're getting close. This is the wall that is already rendered and painted. While we were in Nepal already sightseeing, looking at some other things, we left some money for paint, and the render had to dry out in order for the paint to be applied, so we couldn't do it the next day. We had to wait 7 days or so for the render to dry out. It did. So while we were watching Mount Everest and Fish Tile, and they were painting it. And let's go on. That's in the process of painting. That's the entry to the church. The first coat of paint, second coat of paint. Let's go on from the back. Slightly different picture, isn't it? And so that's how the court looks. Instead of bundle of rubble in front of the church, we've got trees planted. And the church, proud of it, of their own building. And go on. That's the whole congregation. The congregation grew up, I don't know, amazing. You do few things around the church, you feel good about it, and the congregation goes... Okay, here is the backbone of the church. Man, I can tell you they are backbone. You know, how much concrete they carried on their heads. Man. And they painting the second coat, and then we go into initial stage and final stage. So before and after. Let's go on. Let's go on. Before and after. And that's it. And go on. And yes, we did some repairs on the building itself. And on. And all happy. On. And on. And on. Looks different, doesn't it? Here it is, final picture. So this is the experience that we had with the group that we did in 2014. January 16 we left, and we returned, I think it was 13th of February. We're going this time to Kolhapur, which is western side of India. And we will not be building fence around the property because they've got too big property. And it would cost us nearly $16,000 just for the materials for, plus, then we have to leave for something and labor and so on. We there, but things start add up. So we will be doing 2 or 3 churches that we will repair, renovate to a degree as money will permit. And that's the holidays that I'm going to take. How is that? Good? Now, why I'm doing that is because I want to inspire some people. Any hope? Anyone would like to go? Good on you, Hayden. Hopefully by the end of the year. Hey, Daniel is mentioned already that we can go to Cambodia before the end of the year. He's going with a group. There is somebody that is organizing that trip, and Daniel is going to Cambodia after the India trip. So keep that in fresh. Keep your options open. Okay? That's the job that we are going to do, and I just wanted to share with you what we did, and you will hear more about what we are going to do. We are going to revisit the Piridi church. That's the church that I visited, that we did 2014. We are going to spend Friday, Saturday, and Sunday just for a spiritual kind of revival type of meetings, catching up with the people, and saying to them goodbye until the kingdom, because probably we won't be able to go back again to see these people. I think we will have a lot of tears on both sides, but it's great. It's actually makes you feel good. So I want to encourage as many as possible to go. It's worth going. But I want to also preach today, and the next sermon that I take, it'll be in Salisbury Park in Pune. In Pune there is a university, Andrews University branch. They call it like Avondale College of India. Okay? So we will be sharing sermon with Brother Eugene da Costa, and of course there will be Vespers that will be done also by some members of the team. But we're looking forward to a great year, and God is giving us all these opportunities so we can encourage other brothers and sisters so they can carry on the work that is, you've seen the mission report. 60% of population of the world lives in that circle, and India is there, in that circle. We may go to Bangladesh, we may go to Nepal. I know we will experience difficulties that we have never experienced ourselves here. We may have we probably have some other difficulties and things that are hindering us. How was your 15 days of New Year? How was your 2015? Many people at the beginning of the year are making New Year's resolutions. Did you do any of that? It reminds me of that man who was, getting old and decided to go to a closed community, moved into a retirement community where he wanted to live, and eventually he became more familiar with people and friendly with, and especially he got friendly with one lady there. And it got to the point where actually he proposed to her. And to his shock, he said yes. And they were enjoying the conversation. The next day, he got up, and he remembered that he proposed to this lady, but he doesn't remember, did she say yes or did she say no? So he went there, ashamed, sheepishly going to her and say, look, it's not funny, it's shame, but I know that I asked you an important question and I don't know what you answered. I can't remember. And he said, I'm so glad that you asked. I know that I said yes to somebody, but I didn't remember to whom. So maybe sometimes it is with us like that, with our New Year's resolutions. We remember that we've done it, and we don't really remember to whom or what was our conclusion. What did we do? Do you want to have positive or negative? And the year goes on, and we wonder, and we don't know where we're going. And sometimes, I just wonder that we carry on something from this year. What were your thoughts? What memories do you bring from 2015 that will make you different in 2016? That will make you more successful, that will make you more equipped? What are the memories that will make a difference in this year, as we are entering in this year? What plans are we going to make and how we are going to make them different? How are we going to use the time that we have, the 360 days, now less 15, or today is the 16th? In what way are we going to use? What did we learn last year that we don't want to repeat this year? What did we learn that we want to repeat because it was good? Maybe it didn't feel good at the time when we were experiencing it, but we know the outcomes were good. Do we get through situations like that in our lives sometimes? At the time when we are experiencing it, it is not good. It's not feeling good. It's feeling like we're overwhelmed with it and we would rather be on the beach. But when it finishes, we're glad that we did it. We're glad that we that we experienced that. What kind of weaknesses, maybe strengths did we discover in our own life? Weaknesses that we would like to work on, and strengths that we would like to use for the glory of God. What is the limitation that we found about ourselves, and what did we learn above all about our walk with God as we have gone through 2015. It was 1935 and Christmas time when Dorothy and her father were asked by mother to drop off to the shop and pick up some things that she forgot to buy for preparation of Christmas dinner. So they went and got the list and then went between the aisles and did the shopping, and eventually when they were ready and went to the register to pay, they paid, they were ready to go, and just at that time they heard, "Excuse me please, would you spare a dime to give us a trip home?" And as they turned around and looked, they saw a 9-year-old girl holding a hand of a 5-year-old boy. And they continued on. Mom and Dad sent us to beg, but we were unsuccessful, and now we are too afraid to go home. 1935, before Second World War, United States, Missouri. What would you say? How far do you live? 4.5 miles. We'll give you a lift home, but first we need to do some shopping. And they did some shopping, and they went home. And they found home exactly what it was described by the children. Blind father and sick mother with another 5 children hungry. After that delivery, after that Christmas, there was a year of visits, and there were Christmases for next years. Dorothy's father died in 1972, and every year they were asking themselves the question, do you remember that Christmas? How experience of 1 year can prepare us and equip us to do something great the next year and years after, and will enrich and live with us memories that will be difficult to forget. Let's build those memories. So when a dementia kicks in, we've got these beautiful memories of the things that we have done, that we have experienced. Because it will happen. It will happen, and we will remember Piridi. Woo! All these smiling faces there. Yeah, memories like these are milestones in our experiences, and God wants us to build those memories because they are experiences that we are making with Him. As we are listening to His Word, as we are listening to inspirations that are coming from His Word, then we get memories, our memories filled with experiences, with memories that are worth carrying. Inspired pen said, "Another year of life is now in the past. A new year is open before us. What will be its record? What will we each inscribe upon the spotless pages? The manner in which we spend each passing day will decide the question. In what way are we going to use the 360 days that God have given to each one of us as a gift, as a talent? One talent, a single talent that each one of us has. We may not know how to run a computer, but we have time. We may not have much money, but we have time. How are we going to use it? Will we be busy? Will we make any better use of time, or are we going to continue on as in the past? Apostle Paul in Ephesians 5 says, Ephesians 15 through to 17. He says, "Be careful then how you live, not as unwise people, but as wise, making the most of every opportunity, of the time." I've put every opportunity. Making most of the time, because the days. Is the reason good enough? Because the days are evil. Even more, we should be focused on how we are going to use our time. Apostle presents that some important lessons need to be taken in from the past years, and we need to consider that the time is running really fast. Psalm 39 verse 4 says, David asked, "How fleeting is my life?" No. There are some people here who are 20 years old. Are there? How many? 20. Just 20. Okay, good. Anyone that is 25? 25. Or more than 25, yeah. But 25 as well. Yeah. About 15. 15? 14? 13? Did the time drag for you? Or was the 15 years gone fast? "20 years? Did the time drag for you, or did it go like that? You don't even remember where you were born. Yeah, exactly. But that's how fast it goes. And next 20 years will go even faster. And the following 20 will go even faster. That's why we are encouraged to look how fleeting is my life, and therefore I need to make every possible thing that I do, that is possible, that is placed before me, that I can do, to use my time in a valuable way. For teenagers that are sitting at 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the morning in the car, 3, 4, 5 hours can be like flash of light. But for the parents who are sitting at home waiting for them when they will return home, it's eternity, isn't it? You know what I'm talking about. They would talk forever. You know, they don't even feel cold. But parents, man, it's eternity. We must be careful how we live, because the time is limited, isn't it? Psalm 90 verse 10 says that we need to learn that our length of our days is what? 70 or 80 years, and then the rest of it is just bonus. And if it is good bonus, then we enjoy it and praise God for that. But some of the bonuses are not good. And we do things that we don't want to do in those bonuses. We would rather do things different. But anyway, it's good to have bonus. We must be careful to live, because the time on earth is also limited. The time will go. Just as Paul says, be careful then how you live, making most of every opportunity. We are overloaded with stuff that is not important. True? In our lives. We are overloaded with commitments. We have commitments. This person asks me, this group asks me, this group's, and we've got plenty of commitments on every hand, on every corner. And we go and here and there and another place, and we're meeting each other coming and going. Is it your experience? No, husband comes in, the wife goes out, or the opposite. That's how we live. So this is overload of commitment. We are overloaded with possessions. I have to tell you, we are overloaded with possessions. And I was listening to the sermon, and at the end of the sermon, a person said, the bottom line of my message is declutter. We build houses with 3 garages and then park all our cars on the curb. Because driveway is already taken by something, we can't even get to the garage. So we are pretty good. We do only 3 garages. In America, they would build 5 or 6. Anyway, so we have plenty of possessions. Do you know how little is required? I will bring some photos. We are overloaded. You know, we buy stuff to impress. You've heard that this before, didn't you? We buy stuff that we don't need to impress people that we don't like. And then we worry that this stuff will get stolen from us so we don't sleep. This is reality. Then when we are looking at it, we are overloaded with various things. We are getting up early, fighting, battling the traffic. Before we get to work, we're tired. We work there in the relationships that we have, happy or unhappy, whatever it is, but we need to make $1, so we better grind our teeth and get through it. And we come home and we're tired. We're overloaded with information. We've got a lot of junk happening around us. Do you know every doctor, on average, needs to read about 220 articles in a year just to keep himself on top of things? Can you imagine how much stuff or how much information he needs to pack there? Man, there are so many demands on us, and how do we use the 8,760 hours that each of us has in a year? 8,760 hours. How do we use that time? Hopefully we can learn and we can use the time better this year than we were using it in 2015, because 2015 was rush, like a rush of mighty waters, wasn't it? And so there are 2 great things in life that are enemies of our success: the regret of what we failed to do, and the anxiety that we will have for the things that are coming. A girl who went to college, she hated going to college. Listening, kids? Children, are you listening? A girl was going to college and she hated it. But the teacher told her, if you can ever get out, if you can get through it, you're going to be all right. And then she told herself, if I can get out of college and get married and have children, then I'll look after them, then finally I will be able to really enjoy life. So she got through the college, got married, got children, and she thought it would be good time to now relax. But the husband said, look, kids are going to college, we'll need extra $1. All right. So I guess, they go to college. Only if I can do this, only if my kids will go through college, and then keep going. And finally the last child got out of college, and she thought she will enjoy the rest of her life. Okay, and so she went into employer's office and said to resign, to quit the job. And the employer says, well, pity you want to do it now. Only 8 years and you will have a pension. And she didn't want to work for 8 years more. But all the money, can you imagine in 8 years that you can earn? So she supported the kids and went on, paid off all the bills. And after everything was, she went through that. They sold the house. They got into a little unit. And then they were sitting in front of it in the afternoon sunshine, thinking of good old days. Yeah. How are we going to live our life? Paul is encouraging us to carefully think of the time. Jesus said to, and make most of every opportunity. Jesus said to Martha, 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 you are worried about and upset about many things, but only one thing is needed. Mary have chosen what better. It will not be taken away from her. The balance needs to be there. We still need bread. But let's keep the important things. And then we find another text in Paul. It says, the hour has come for you to wake up from slumber, because our salvation is nearer now than when we have first believed. As we are entering the new year, the old year has gone, with its burdens, with its sorrows, with its frustrations and joy into eternity. Let's treasure up those things from the past and use them to our advantage, in order that we make most out of the time that we have received from the Lord. May we be able to use this time for His glory, as we are using His goodness and mercy, that we can carry into the new year and brighten up the future, not only of our own, but also of other people. Those memories will stay with us until kingdom comes. And then those things will be ever more remembered. May God bless you as you are entering in the new year. Think how you can build positive memories. I can tell you from my short life that the fleshy things that are offered by this world are empty. If you are not enriching someone else, then you are growing poorer. May God bless you.